Energise. James, thank you very much indeed for coming in. Why is it provocative, your thesis?
Well, what it suggests is that the more thoughtful we are about energy supply, the more thoughtless we can be about the use of energy. I'm fed up going to dinner parties where everybody discusses their carbon footprint. If we could only have faith in technology and ingenuity, we wouldn't have to have those boring conversations anymore.
So you're saying look at the supply side. It's not about
right.
the carbon you're expending, it's about what goes in at the other end.
That's right. We need a whole new round of energy investment because we're probably going to get power cuts in this country without that, and it can be a clean batch of energy investment. And we need to concentrate on collective solutions, big scale things in all forms of energy. That means nuclear, carbon capture and storage, which needs a lot of development work on it, and large scale renewables. There's no silver bullet.
Government says it's doing this, don't they? The government says they're looking at all kinds of renewable energies, nuclear program. I mean, a lot of it doesn't get the attention perhaps it deserves. I mean, a couple of weeks ago I noticed that the Russians were saying they were looking at something like 30 new nuclear plants in Russia. So it's happening quietly, but in this country arguably less so. We know there's a nuclear program pending and turbines go up, often to local derision. We're doing enough, some people would say, to make sure the supply is there. It's just that won't cure the problem on its own.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think New Labour's, not going to really support nuclear power to the degree that the rhetoric suggests, even if it was re-elected. I think the Tories have also said that nuclear power is no substitute for renewables, when in fact you and I know that renewables are no substitute for nuclear power.
Yeah.
And if you look at the budgets for research and development on carbon capture and storage in the last 5 years, they've totaled in Britain £6.4 million. That's about the price of a house in Mayfair. That to me doesn't suggest much commitment to the kind of innovation that we need to see us through the next few years.
People listening to what you're saying, James, might think to themselves, oh, I see where this guy's coming from. He's an apologist for the nuclear industry. He wants us to build lots more nuclear power stations. Is that the gist of it?
No, I'm a defender of human brains and skills and our ability to rise above the slime. I've never worked for the nuclear industry. I carry no special banner for them. We need all forms of energy. The important thing about Gordon Brown's announcement is that it sounds very generous, 1.5 billion, but first of all, do we have the money to give to the third world? And to the extent that we do, isn't that making them a kind of peremptory offer they can't refuse? We go along to China, which is actually much better than us at wind power and solar power and all of these things.
But they're also the world's biggest polluter.
Yeah, but they're fixing that. They happen to have clean coal is very difficult, but they've got the cleanest coal that is around, and it's not me saying that. It's Jeffrey Immelt, the head of General Electric in the United States, maintains that China is ahead of America in all new energy technologies. They can't do it overnight, they've only just arrived. But for us to give them a lecture and a kind of bribe seems to me very foolish. If anything, China will be teaching us what to do in energy supply technology over the